On today's episode, we're here talking with Tina from Blue Cabin Gardens. She is a garden designer and helps people to make the most of their beautiful landscapes. Ringwood and this area are known for its natural beauty, and she helps to bring that to every house. So we're going to do a little interview and she can tell us more about what she does. So Tina, how do you begin when you get a new client? You know, let's begin at the beginning. You have a house that maybe is overgrown or wild, or it has like really nothing and it's like kind of a blank canvas. Like, how do you figure out what people want to plant, what they want to design, and how do you help them?
So the first thing I do is arrange a meeting at the house with the client. And we talk about what they like, the colors they like, what they're interested in, what they've seen in the past that makes them want a garden. So I talk about that, and then I walk around a lot and I take a lot of pictures. I look at the soil, I dig down, I see what they have, I see what's growing there and what's doing well and what's not. And that will lead me in directions of what I can put there that will thrive.
Awesome. What about specific to Ringwood in this area of North Jersey? What are some of the concerns? Like, I know when I'm planting my garden, I'm thinking about like deer resistance and how often am I going to have to come out and spray these lilies because they're so gorgeous. I don't want them to get eaten. How do you account for things like that?
Number one, that's one of the topics everyone talks about. Is what is going to be eating your plants. And there's always something eating your plants, and there are good things that eat your plants, and there are things that can destroy your garden. So mainly, if there is no fencing around the property, I will choose almost entirely deer-resistant plants. And that is a plant that usually has a very strong fragrance or is highly textured, like a holly, or like a yarrow, like that has fuzzy leaves or things like that. So those are helpful to help you decide what you want to plant that's deer resistant, because that's the major issue.
So Tina, what are you working on now?
So Vera, I have a little cottage garden coming up now, so I bought some peonies, some geranium, and foxglove, and iris. I love integrating echinacea into almost every project because of the wildlife benefits. This is a variety, so it's like a nativar. It's a cultivar of a native plant. This is eupatorium or Joe Pye weed.
Is that a butterfly favorite?
It is a butterfly favorite.
Okay, yeah, I remember hearing that.
I usually try to create most of my gardens with almost completely natives. Yeah, because the benefits are phenomenal especially in our area.
What are the benefits? Tell us about that.
So the benefits, when I previously said that some things that are eating your garden are good for us, what I mean is that caterpillars are essential for baby bird survival. So the first 2 months of a baby bird's life is completely fed by its parents by caterpillars. So we really need to not only attract wildlife into our gardens, we want to attract butterflies and native bees and bumblebees and everything, but we also want to give them a place to thrive, and we want to give them a place to reproduce. So you need caterpillars to be eating your plants, and if you don't have anything eating your plants, then it's really, your garden is not really a part of the ecosystem. Also, when I'm maintaining the garden, like I don't use any pesticides and I don't use any synthetic fertilizers, just because it's not necessary.
There's ways to maintain your garden where you're using natural products and you don't have to worry about the impact that is going to have on the environment as well.
Exactly.
Which is really important up here, especially with our watershed properties and people having their own personal wells.
Yes. This is a honeysuckle. It's a little wild right now. I haven't tied it back at all, but this is a hummingbird magnet. It really starts budding up early spring, and it goes all the way through the summer and up into the early moments of fall. This is called spilled wine, and it has these really beautiful hot pink tubular flowers.
Yeah, it's such a striking color.
Yeah, it looks amazing with the foliage. You know, it's such a big contrast.
I actually have that.
Lily of the Valley.
I have them. I've got something a gardener has.
So here I have like it's kind of a mix of ornamental shade stuff, but here is like a special plant for me. It's called the Mayapple. They've turned into fruits already, but you'll get this like little, it's called Mayapple because you'll get this like little apple there hanging down. But the flower is very special and you'll get that like early May. But now it's almost June, or no, it's mid-May, so it's turning into, but that's a really beautiful native that not that many people know about. Those are allium, globe alliums. These are one of my favorites to plant. I'm a big fan of bulbs. So these are actually bulbs that you plant in late fall. It gives you a lot of whimsy in your garden.
It does. Yeah, they're really cute.
Yeah, they're pretty. The trick is to find things that will cover the dying back foliage, because they kind of like start dying back quickly. So I'm experimenting with different things like this tansy, so that'll cover that so that you won't see it.
I have a question too. Are there any species that you want to like avoid at all costs? Like certain things are super invasive.
So one thing that is very common that has been sold in nurseries around here for a very, very long time that I never use, I never plant, is barberry. It's a shrub, but it produces berries that the birds will eat, and then they'll drop their droppings everywhere in the woods, and you'll see barberries invading all throughout the forest.
They're super thorny too,
They're really
right?
thorny.
Yeah,
They're
how annoying.
They don't feel good to
Right.
me.
Right.
They're coming up with new varieties that don't reproduce berries, but I'd rather just stay away from the whole thing, the whole gang. Also, burning bush, it's taken over the entire understory of our backwoods here. That's also something I won't plant.
And then there's also bamboo. Seen a lot of bamboo. And
Those
it's
runners.
The runners, oh,
Yeah.
you need a backhoe to get them out.
Yeah. So I think that's the hardest thing, is planting a garden that is going to bring you joy throughout the whole season. And that is, one of the hardest things for Joe Citizen to do. So that's why it's so great to come here and see what you're presenting, because I can't wait to see the projects you're working on.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It really is my greatest joy to create new and interesting gardens for anyone. So it's a lot of fun for me, and if it's a lot of trust that you put in someone to help you with your garden, and it's but I like to be there for the long haul. Like, I like to answer questions, I like to talk to people, I like to get them to know their plants and know how to take care of them.
It's wonderful. Yeah. It's sort of like buying a house. You got to meet the customer, you got to get to know what they like, what they don't like, and what's going to suit them and what fits their needs. Because, for somebody who doesn't want a high-tech garden that's constantly going to work in, I guess you would do different plantings for them versus somebody who wants to get in there every day and trim and love and cherish them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Everybody's different, every plant is different, every garden is different, and every home is different.
Thank you for joining us today and taking this great tour of Tina's personal gardens. Tina, how can they reach you?
You can reach me by emailing me at tina@bluecabingardens.com.
And you're also on Instagram.
I am on Instagram at bluecabingardens.
Awesome. So give her a follow. Follow us again. We're the Skylands Real Estate Team. In case you forget Tina's info, we're always happy to share her contact info along with any of our other pros that we work with in different industries. We always have a lot of contacts for anything house and home related. So reach out to your real estate pros, Skylands Real Estate Team, skylandsrealestate.com.